Yesterday, I had an interaction with a customer about Indigenous people, and it just really kind of upset me. He saw my chin tattoo and assumed that I'm an Alaskan native, and he was telling me about his brother that lives in Alaska, and I was just explaining to him my tattoos and, their meaning behind them. This guy started telling me stories, supposedly that, people that his brother knew since his brother lives there and all this stuff. And then one time they ended up at this gas station and he was like with a group of people. And I don't know if it was his wife or his girlfriend or somebody. Anyways, they saw a man digging through the trash cans at the gas station. And he asked the female in their group, hey, should we give this man some food? And they decided not to. And then he made the comment that, those people are entitled. They feel entitled. And I'm like, bro, you're on their land. Like, what are you talking about? It's like people don't fully realize or recognize the effects of colonization, the trauma that people have been through, and why people turn to drugs and alcohol. Indigenous communities face the after effects of colonization, and part of those effects are abuse, drug and alcohol addiction, and things like this. They're trying to cope with what the aftermath, of colonization. So many children were taken away from their families, especially like in Alaska, the children were taken away by the churches. And it's just like, it didn't really, click with him. So I'm making this video. I just want people to realize, Indigenous people deserve respect. They deserve empathy and compassion. So many Indigenous people are suffering the aftermath of colonization, the intergenerational trauma that's been passed down through the lineage, and so much has been done to our people. Just horrible, unspeakable things that they don't teach in schools. We need to realize this. We need to learn it and recognize it and start helping and facilitating healing. We need to stop spreading ignorance and hate, and we need to start help facilitating healing and reconciliation, and just being there for people. We can't see somebody digging through the trash and be like, oh, well, they don't deserve it, or they feel like they're entitled to it. This is Indigenous land, like, we can't ignore all the abuse and just devastation that our people have endured. So instead of judging people, we need to learn what they went through. And that means doing your own research. The government has tried to cover up, and the churches have tried to cover up all the horrible things that they've done to the Indigenous people of this land, and not just of America and Canada and Alaska, but, other lands too. We need to start researching and learning, and not act out of ignorance or hatred or racism. They're using those things against us. Those are tools of the oppressor to divide and conquer us. So we all need to come together. We need to love one another, care for each other, be there for each other.